Well, so Jersey is only for REST API development. SOAP is a protocol. So for that, you need to set up your configurations and XML file and all. And Jaxby is only a small framework which you can play around. Let's say you have some data in a XML file and you got a requirement of convert this whole XML data into a table, right? This is your requirement. Your data is in XML and your manager has given a task that this whole data should go under the table. So what you will do, XML you have to read and convert into the object. So that's the reason you need Jaxby. So this is a pure requirement. You got a pure requirement of converting XML into Java, right? Now somebody is saying to you, hey, your data is sitting in table and you have to write into the XML format. So what you come to know now, again, the data have to be written in the XML file. So again, you need parser. So Jaxby again help you from Java to XML and XML to Java. You can play around with the Jaxby. Okay, Sana, got it?
Yes. Then yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's no way related to web services until or unless you have a specific requirement. Well, guys, so let's move ahead and now see how we can develop a REST API inside our web application of Spring Boot. In fact, not web application, in Spring Boot, how we can develop a REST web services. Well, so there is one example here, Spring Boot RESTful web services. So you guys have to focus there for whatever class I'm teaching you today. So under this documentation, I have been talking about all the methods one by one. What is RESTful web services and what are the different terms we are going to use under this. We will talk about it one by one. But first and most important things, let's see the internal configurations and the library which I have used. In this application, I have not make it very complex using the service layer and using the database and all. Rather than REST API is limited till controller. Other services and other DAO layer is straightforward, whatever you have seen in the Spring MVC, Spring DAO, whatever. Only changes you will notice in the controller, which is a REST controller. And that's where we're gonna talk about now. So in the pom.xml file, if you notice, we don't have much dependency other than web. That's all. You don't need any additional. Whatever you were adding for a hello world, let it be same. That is highly sufficient for your REST API development because all the web related things are coming under this dependency only. So we are not going to add any extra dependency here. It is just like a hello world application. Think like that. Under source folder, you will be noticing the resources folder. Let's see what are the changes we have for REST API development. Oh, there is no change required for application.properties also if you're using REST API. So far, we have not added any configuration. It's pure pom.xml file like a hello world and application.properties file where you want to change your port number other than 8080, then please mention this. If you want to have a 8080, then remove this particular entry also. There is no requirement of adding any additional configuration. Let's move ahead. Now, let's look at the demo application.java. Straightforward, nothing I have added here also. I just have one class, just like a hello world, which is having at the rate of Spring Boot application. Again, there is no further changes in my application. Now, here is the controller. Under controller, the first and most important things we have to do is add the rate of REST controller, which we were doing from the beginning itself, right? Whatever hello world application also we have written, we have put this at the rate of REST controller. Now, four methods: get, post, put, and delete. Define the four methods something like this. So this method is having request method as a delete. It means what? This guy is going to get some ID and it will be removing the ID or deleting the ID from the database or from wherever the data is coming. This is for put. It means what? This is for updating the product. It's not necessary that method name should be delete only. You can give any meaningful name. Only method name change have to be there here. So there is a lots of methods. So see delete, get, head, option, path, post, put, all these things. So we are using a delete functionality under this function. So we have put request method equal to delete. Similarly, we have a put for update. We have post for get. For whichever method is not having a method type, that's called get. But Spring Boot people are very smart. They found that request mapping is common across the all function. Only thing is changing is the request method type. So they started developing a annotation for each method type. So I will show you in the next example. You don't need to put at the rate of request mapping and then method equal to delete. Rather than you have a at the rate of delete. That's all. See how I have did for get mapping. It is equivalent to, let me show you, it is equivalent to method equal to get. See, in the older version of Spring Boot, we used to put like this. But now Spring people are saying, don't need to put at the rate of request mapping. Rather, you directly put at the rate of get mapping. That's all. Now this part is not required at all because the annotation itself is saying I'm a get method call. Similarly, for this post, you can put at the rate of post mapping. See, there's a post mapping. So now this is the latest one, but I would like to show you both way first. So that's the reason I have not changed this with the latest annotation because many of the application is having the at the rate of request mapping only. So guys, look at this again. Don't think about the business logic right now because business logic is straightforward. You have to write a query if you are writing a database things. But here we have a delete, put, post, and get. Under get, you will see two things. One, one get is having all. So whichever is not getting any parameters here, that's called all. So it is going to give you the all products. In fact, this should be get products. Okay. And another one is the get method with a specific ID. So I will pass the ID of my product and I want only that product. Getting or not? So to get method flavor, other are the straightforward, whichever we have discussed right now about these four methods. Post, get, put, delete. Okay. Now as I told you that we are not introducing the database in this example to make it more complex. I will give you tip piece by piece. And in the last, we are developing one application which is having the complete details or complete real-time flavor project structure along with the database. So now we need to perform a CRUD operation, but we don't have database. How we can do that? Well, let's define one of the data structure itself as your database. So what I did, I created one hash map. Again, it's a core Java, guys. Whoever is not knowing hash map, they should know it is one of the data structure inside core Java called collection framework. How this map is going to store your data, key and value. So I have created one product.java class, which is having ID and name, and I want to keep creating a product and putting into this hash map. And that's what I'm doing. So I created one product map. This is one of my repository. Consider this is the database. Okay. And at the beginning itself, I'm going to add two product in this repository. So the moment you will run this application, you know that static initialization block. Again, it is a core Java concept. Whichever logic you want to execute before main method, you can put under this static initialization block. In short, it is known as SIB. Whoever is again not knowing what is SIB, I will highly recommend you need to read about it. Okay, so product one, honey, product two, almond. So two product I have keep on added into the map with the help of put method. Map is always asking for a key. So whatever ID I have given, same ID I have given for key also. So well, after running this example, I'm expecting my all the REST API methods supposed to perform as expected. One by one, we will come to know the logic behind this and you will see it's pretty simple. So code wise, nothing much. One static initialization block, one map which is holding the data, and we will perform our CRUD operation with this data only. So without any delay, let me run this application, making sure other applications are not running. Let me right click, run as Java application. Okay, so my port number is 8090. Now question is coming, how we can test these all REST endpoints. What is the endpoints, guys? It's very, very important. Endpoints for this application would be localhost, colon, your port number, and then after this endpoint, slash product slash blah, blah. So this is how the endpoints will be. For testing the web application, they have introduced one tool called Postman. Whoever is knowing the Postman, well and good.
Yeah.
If you don't know, then let me tell you one new tool name called Postman.
Yeah.
Postman is one of the REST API testing tool. With the help of this API tool, you can test the REST application because your application are not going to give the view now. Difference between MVC and the REST application is MVC is going to give you the data along with the view. That could be HTML and JSP. But REST API is saying I will just give you data. So if you are getting data, then you need some tool which can tell you that okay, this is fine. So let's open the Postman. You must be wondering how to get Postman. Pretty simple. In Chrome, you have a Postman extension. You just type here Postman Postman extension for Chrome. So the moment you will see this Postman extension for Chrome, just click on this and you're gonna get the Postman extension to be launched. After added, you can click on launch and it will launch the Postman application or tool, something like this. Getting the point, guys? So why I'm using this
Yes, sir.
tool? Because I want to test the application. Very simple. Now, so first and most important things, I want to test my get call, whether this two product is coming or not. So for that purpose, I have to edit this part from localhost to 8090 slash products. Okay, so how I have given products, look at this. I want to hit this one, which will give me the all list of. So what is the URL here? Slash products.
Product.
So I'm just giving here slash products. What is the method here? Which method I'm using? Get method.
Get.
So from this drop down, you have to select which method you are trying to hit. So it's a get. By default, it had selected get. Now, here is a send button. Very simple. You just click on send. It will make a call to your application server, which is your backend server, and it will bring
JSON.
the whole data in the form of JSON. This format is known as JSON format. Whole data from backend to UI is coming in the format of JSON. Okay, so look at this. Whether you are getting to data or not, it means what? It means your REST application for get method is working as expected. So this is the get. Now, what I want to just get a only one product with ID. I will show you that, but let's see what exactly get method is doing inside their body. This method is doing nothing. It is going for the product repo, which is your hash map, and taking the all values of that map, and it is just returning. So in hash map, there is something called values, and your values is nothing but it's a product object. So automatically it is going to get the all values from the hash map and returning to the client as a response. But you will see couple of things which is very, very important. One thing, how the product object is converted into JSON format, because here whatever data you are getting, it is in JSON format. Do we have written any logic for converting the product object into JSON format? No, we didn't did. How this magic happened? Congratulations. Spring Boot is again having a very good library for you called Response Entity. Response Entity library is provided by Spring Boot, which is saying to you, hey, you just give me data. I know how to convert into JSON format. You don't need to write a logic for converting your object into JSON format. JSON format is very widely used format in the world of any application. So if you go to your anywhere, let's say Jersey API, let's say I'm just going to press F12 and I will refresh this. So if I refresh this, I will be getting some sort of response in the JSON format. So what are those? Look at this. These all are the JSON format data. This API is a Google API and even Google is using this. How to verify it's a JSON format? There are lots of free API available for JSON formatter. JSON formatter online. Just go to any of this website and after that, whatever data I have copied under this. So how I got this? I just click on the URL and there's something called network tab. Under network tab, you will see response. These all response are the JSON format. So I will go to this first link and I will paste the data something like this and click on process. If your JSON is valid, then see how Google is displaying and sending the data. So this will give you a very clear picture. Google has written one search REST API. Their URL is whatever you have hit here, and response is coming in a JSON format, which looks like this. Getting point or not? Just like
Okay.
our JSON response. So every applications are looking for data, and the data format is by default JSON. You can ask me always JSON. Answer is no. You can give a string also. You can give JSON also. You can give map also. You can give XML also. There is a different format of data. Whatever your client is asking, according to that, you are going to develop the REST application. So if you look at the get all method logic, it is simply taking the all data from the repository, and with the help of response entity, we are converting into JSON. But now, in the world of REST API, there is something called a status code. Each REST application is having their status code. So you should have to send the proper status code to the client along with the data. Sometimes you don't even need to send the data, just send the status code whether this call is success or not. Based upon the status code, your client is deciding that whether my request was successfully processed or not. So if you have noticed our RESTful API, here there is something called a status 200 OK. What is the meaning of that? 200, whenever you are sending a response, it means this status code is saying that your call was success, and that's all. Many of your clients just need this 200 OK. Nothing much they need. Similarly,
Mm.
if you go to my code, Spring people are providing one library called HTTP status. So if you are saying okay, it will be 200. Like this way, there are so many status code. According to your requirement, you have to give the proper status code. For example, let's say that user is not authorized to get the all employee. So you have to send the status code as a forbidden. Means what? You are not having access. So for each of your methods, there are different status code. But how can I come to know if for delete purpose, what will be the status code? Is there any delete status code? Answer is no. There is no delete status code. So if you are confused what status code I have to give, then always remember OK is, that is 200 status code is all rounder. So if you give
Oh,
200, it means anybody can understand the success is done. But if you know that, for example, whenever I'm going to insert a record, that time there is a status code called created. The status code for this is 201, 201. So remember, if you are confused with the status code, at least send the OK. That's mandatory. And based upon this status code only, your client is going to process this data. If status code is 500, it means some exception came, and because of that, call was not success. If call was not success, it means you didn't get data. Based upon this 200 response or 500 response, client UI is going to display the page whether the call was success or not. Getting the point or not, guys? It's very, very important. This part is a very crucial part of your Spring Boot application. So I want each and everybody have to be very good confidence in this. So any doubt in this, get all products understood?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. So the syntax wise, you will take some time to grab. I'm not saying you can easily get this in one shot, but it's a very small method. Under this, you can write whatever logic you have for your application. For my, it's just a get all. So whatever data I have, I'm sending this whole data. But think about this method. Here, I'm not sending the all data, rather than whatever data user will ask, that data I will send. So this guy is saying, along with this products URL, you have to pass me the ID also. So to test this API, I have to put one more slash, and I will put one, because I don't want to get all data. I want to get the product, their ID is one. Very simple. So the moment you will pass this one, it will be coming to this particular application. How how your server will come to know? Pretty simple. Both are get, that's fine. Why it's not going this time here, coming here? Because you are passing one more data, right? After slash, you are passing one more data. So this makes difference from this method and this method. Your server is smart enough to identify which method is for which purpose, and that differentiation you have to do with endpoints. If you notice it, every method is same, but their
Yeah.
endpoints are a bit
Different.
different. You can see that based upon this endpoints only, it is deciding. If endpoints are same, then the method is different. No, for these two,
Right.
slash product. So your REST API server will be confused. Hey, you are hitting products, to whom I have to go? Then you have to say, no, I'm hitting with get method, so you go here. I'm hitting slash products with post method, then you go here. Getting the point or not, guys? So here
Yes.
what I'm doing, under this last method, get product by ID, you know the hash map, you stored the data with key and value. So if you pass the key to hash map, it will give you the value. Simple, right? So I'm passing the particular key whichever user is passing, and with the help of path variable annotation, I'm picking that ID value, which is a string, and after that it will be displayed. So just hit and click on send. Congratulations, you are just getting a single record, because in your repository you have only one product with ID 1. It's a hash map. So hash map with get method call, whatever ID you have passed, for one ID, honey is the product added in your repository. So honey is coming here. If you pass 2, it will be bringing you the almonds. Can you see that? This is how we are
Right.
testing our application. Now somebody is asking you, you are a producer, you have started developing your endpoints. Now let's say you are working in a e-commerce product company, and there is a search service. You are working on product module, product service, and somebody is searching on your search service. So search service will ask you, hey Nikhil, can you give me the endpoints for getting all products? Then what you have to do? You just have to copy this
Right.
and tell him, this is your endpoints. Go and hit it. You will get all products. Very simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, what I have to do? I have to create one product. So we have just demonstrated get. Let's try demonstrating the each of the methods. So now first and most important things, I'm changing the method to post because I want to create one more record. So whenever you are changing a post, you have to pass the data also. For get method, you do not need to pass anything. But whenever it is a post call, you will see there is something called body. You can see that for post method, the body part has came. And here you have to pass the data for your ID and whatever you want to give as a name. So the moment I will send, automatically this product will be added into my repository, which is a database or which is a file or which is an in-memory map, doesn't matter. But my expectation is post method will create one more record with the ID 3 and name as a book into my repository. Let's see the logic of post method, what exactly it is doing. So where is the post method? Very simple. Just check for post method. You blindly see this is the method for your product adding. What I'm doing, whole product body you are sending to me. This product.java is having only two fields, right? ID and name. So I'm sending from here ID and name. This whole value is automatically converted into product object. You don't need to call setters method. These all things are internally done. With the help of at the rate of request body, whatever data is coming from postman or from the client, that will be automatically converting into this product object. And now you have a product object, you know the hash map, there is a put method, put ID as a key and value as a whole product. One sec, guys. Okay, guys, so I'm just adding into this and I'm not sending this time the data. The only thing I'm sending product is successfully created and a status code is important. A status code is created. So the moment I will click on send, I'm expecting product is created successfully. Unfortunately, I clicked two times. So I'm expecting two book have to be added with the same ID. That's wrong. But yes, that's the idempotent things. By mistake, if you click again and again, it will be keep on adding the new records. And look at the status code. It's coming two, not one created. How can you verify that whether it's added or not? Matter of just changing the method type. This time now I'm again going to hit get and let me check four products is coming or not. Oh, it is not added. Who can guess? Even though I hit two times the book object, but it has been not added.
yeah,
The reason is hash map, guys. If you know hash map will never allow the duplicate key, right? If you keep on adding the same key again and again, it will be replace the existing key value with the new value. So hash map did this magic, but in real time, it will be in the database. So every time if you click on post method, it will create a new row inside your database table. But here, since we are using a map and map never allow the duplicate key. So key is same in my both call. That is the reason. But you just see that post method is working or not. Initially, you were having only two, but now you have a three. So we have demonstrated successfully get all, get with ID and post method how to create a new records. Under the documentation which I have given you, if you want to play around with this, so RESTful web services in the last, the Spring Boot docs files is there. So you can easily get the all things how I have added the data. So if you zoom it, you can easily understand the complete postman call. It's very important for all the beginners. They are going to confuse sometime how it's working. So you can see Get method, this URL, and response is coming 3 records. Next is post
Okay.
call. So I have changed the post method, and under the body there is a row JSON, and then I have put the value here. Similarly for post and put and delete also I will do. So don't worry, everything is there. Now, so we have demonstrated get, post. Now it's time for put. So for put method, what I want to update the value of existing. So this put method will ask you first give me the ID, which product you want to change the value. So I have given third number product. What value you want to give? I want to give a value something called sweet. Okay. So the moment I will click on send, it will be updating the old value of 3 number ID book to suite. Click on send. And in the down, I can see product is updated successfully. Let's come here and just see what put method is doing. Nothing much, guys. You pass the ID, you pass the new product details. This guy is just going to the put method for this ID, updating the new value, because put method will do the same thing just like a add. So if old value, old key will be replaced with the new value. That's all. And again, there is no proper status code for updated. That is the reason I have given OK. Because I told you, if you don't find anything relevant, then go with http status dot OK. So again, come here and change this method to 3 get method and try checking that whether third number is updated properly or not. Yes, it is. It has been updated with new value called sweet. Similarly, check for delete. For delete purpose, whichever ID you want to delete, pass that ID, click on send, product deleted successfully, status code 200. It means now if I hit this and I will hit the whole get all, third number product is gone. Let's look at the get method logic. Delete method logic, sorry. So delete method is just calling the remove method of your map. Whichever ID you are passing, that ID is going to be removed from the repository. Pretty simple. Again, status code is okay. So this is your core Java logic. I hope you should know this. If you don't know core Java, then you have to study it, guys. There is no way. But these internal logics are completely core Java. How map works,
Yeah.
how to create an object, all these things are pretty simple. Main flow is how to test our REST application, how to change the application method type, how to pass this body, how to change the method type, all these things you should know. That will take some time for you guys to understand. But REST API development is pretty simple. And if you understand this simple REST application, trust me, in a real-time project also, this is going to be same. It's not going to be changed. Only thing is going to be changed the internal business logic. You might be having a some more complex logic written, service to DAO to database, all these things. But controller side, this is the similar things. So now, if you get a chance to work on REST API, first and most important things for each, let's say product service controller. Similarly, you have a cart service controller, you have a category service controller. So you need to go to the each controller separately, and operations related to that module is going to be taken place under that, just like our product service controller. But these part you will found common across the all controller if it is claiming I am a REST API. That's all. Returning result in the format of response entity and passing the proper status code. That is the reason each method return type is a response entity. This method name you can pass anything, whatever you want. Remember, for get all, we are not expecting anything from the client. For get with a specific ID, we are expecting one ID from the client. That's the reason braces open colon, that's ID. So whatever ID he will pass in the URL, I will pick up that ID. Based upon that, I will do a search operation and I will pass the value. If it is a post call, then I'm expecting users should send me the whole product details. That's the reason as a part of body, post call is always expecting a body part. So whatever body part it will pass, it will do the fetch the product. Similarly, we have a put method. So put method is also expecting a ID along with the body. Why? Because for which ID you want to update, so that's the filter criteria. And what is the new value? That is the new value product. That is the put method logic. But whatever delete, delete is again asking pass me the ID which you want to delete, and that's all. So for each method there is a separate specification, separate syntax, and that is important for you to understand. I truly spent good amount of time to make you understand this application, because I know our whole journey is now dependent on this application,
yeah.
small application. Any doubt, any question, guys?
Yes, sir.
Vasvi, are you getting?
Yes, sir. But I have to know about hash map. Then I will get a clear
If you
idea.
don't know, then actually there is a problem. In fact, it's a big problem, right? So hash map is a core Java concept. So there is a tragedy. Vasvi has been told she will be provided the core Java concept also along with her course, but there is slight confusion. Confusion, or I don't know, it's the intention. He told me Vasvi also registered for advanced Java only, and along with your batch, I started her to teach advanced Java. But the problem is Vasvi is not having a very good knowledge about the core Java concept, and that caused her to struggle a bit to grab some concept. But I'm still proud of Vasvi, because even though web applications she understood without core Java, REST API she understood without core Java, a Spring Boot application she developed without core Java concept. So that's really great things. Once she will understand the core Java, and after that she will watch this all video again, I'm 100% sure she will get 100%. Okay, so Vasvi, take your call. You should know this hash map. How hot
Okay,
hash
sir.
map is for interview point of view, you don't know. I never seen a interview without hash map. If somebody is taking your interview without hash map, I will tell you don't join that company. The reason is they are not going to deploy you as a developer. They might have some different intention. So be careful. If they are not asking you lots of technical questions related to Java, core Java, then there is a doubt. Remember,
Right.
as a fresher, they should ask in Java what is hashmap. Okay, let's go ahead. Any doubt, any questions, Nikhil, from your end, getting the concept?
Yes, sir. It's pretty clear. Yeah.
And what about you, Sana? The first time Spring Boot and this time Spring Boot, are you getting the
Yes,
difference, getting the concept clear, every part, every point? Huh?
yes, it's clear now. Yes.
Super. Nice to know that. Again, for Sana also, Sana has registered for this Spring Boot microservices and all these things. But, see, we're not having any background of Spring framework. In fact, IOC and all. So after completion of this Spring Boot, again she has registered for whole Spring framework, and now I'm pretty sure she is getting. So guys, please join again, because I will be continuing this session for next 40 minutes more. So after
Okay.
this connection, please join again.
Yeah.
Fine. So we are done with the REST API development. I'm pretty sure this is the flow, nothing much. After this, I will show you slowly. I will integrate it with the service layer, DAO layer, and database going forward.